Hello and welcome. Today we are diving into something that I think might just change the way you see yourself. We're talking about the sovereignty of the independent spirit.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever been called difficult? Maybe it popped up in a performance review, or came up in a relationship, maybe even from your own family.
Or, hey, maybe the word was stubborn, or rebellious, or my personal favorite, too much. If any of that is ringing a bell, then you are absolutely in the right place.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on this whole difficult label. What is really going on here? Let's unpack that misconception.
See, these labels usually get slapped on because of a few key behaviors. You're the person who questions authority, not to be a pain, but because you're genuinely curious. You resist conforming because, well, it just feels wrong, inauthentic. You're in that meeting, everyone's nodding along, and you're the one who speaks up and challenges the status quo, asking, wait, why are we even doing it this way? In a world that loves it when you just go with the flow, yeah, that's going to create some friction.
But here's the big question. What if that friction isn't a flaw? What if we're looking at this all wrong? Let's try to reframe this whole thing. What if it's actually about a deep core value for freedom?
So you've got the label, society hands you difficult. But the real reason behind it? For so many people, that's a total mystery, and honestly, a really frustrating one.
And here it is. This is the big idea, the major reframe. You're not difficult. You just value freedom. Just let that one sink in for a second. This isn't about being argumentative just for the heck of it. It's about honoring a fundamental part of who you are.
Now, to be clear, this isn't an excuse for bad behavior. Think of it more like you're running on a completely different operating system. Most of the world might be running on an OS that's all about harmony, consensus, getting along. Your OS, it's just coded differently. It's coded for liberty and self-determination.
So what does this freedom operating system actually look like day to day? Let's break down the key traits of an independent spirit.
First up, and this one is critical, is autonomy. This isn't just a casual preference. It's a deep, gut-level need to be the captain of your own ship. It's why having someone breathing down your neck while you're trying to work feels almost physically painful. It's a direct violation of that core need to direct yourself.
And right there with autonomy, you've got authenticity. This is that absolute commitment to making sure your actions on the outside line up with your values on the inside. It's the reason you'd rather voice an unpopular opinion you actually believe in than just smile and nod to keep the peace. For an independent spirit, faking it is just plain exhausting.
And you can see how these traits show up all over the place, right? It comes out as having this really strong inner compass that guides you. An intense curiosity. You have to know the why behind things. A powerful, almost allergic reaction to being micromanaged. A deep drive to do work that actually means something. And, of course, placing a super high value on trust and transparency in all your relationships.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Every single one of these traits is a double-edged sword. Let's look at the challenges they create and the incredible superpowers they give you.
This chart just lays it out perfectly. On the one hand, the challenge. Yeah, you're probably going to clash with rigid top-down structures. But the superpower? You're the innovator, the one with the courage to challenge the old way of doing things. The challenge might be that it can feel lonely sometimes, but that's the flip side of your superpower, a fierce self-reliance and resilience. Being seen as argumentative is often the price you pay for being willing to speak truth to power. And that feeling of discomfort with pointless, arbitrary rules, that's the very thing that drives you to build better, smarter, more logical systems for everyone.
So look, the point here is crucial. The goal isn't to sand down your edges to fit into a round hole. You don't want to get rid of the friction. The goal is to see that friction for what it is, a source of incredible energy. Your job is to learn how to harness that power and aim it effectively.
And that brings us to the most important part of all of this, actually embracing your inner sovereignty. How do you live this truth in the real world?
Okay, here are 3 real actionable steps. Number 1, identify your non-negotiables. Get radically clear on your core principles, the things you will not compromise on, period. Number 2, choose your environment wisely. Stop trying to make yourself fit into jobs or relationships that punish you for being you. Instead, seek out places that actually value and reward autonomy. And number 3, and this one is the game changer, reframe your narrative. The very next time you feel that friction and that little voice in your head says, I'm being so difficult, I want you to consciously stop and tell yourself, no, I am honoring my value for freedom.
And really, that's what this all boils down to.
Your independence is not some flaw that needs to be fixed. It is the very blueprint of your purpose. It's the source code for the unique contribution you are here to make in the world.
So, we'll leave you with this one last thought to carry with you. If your spirit is truly sovereign, its own independent kingdom, then the only question left to ask is this: what will you build in your kingdom?